Wow, we got a great one for you this week. There's the reveal, it runs and drives. So logistically, this trip was hellaciously difficult. So a big thank you to Kelsey, Lauren Collins for setting all that up. When you see both these episodes, you realize what I'm talking about. Thanks a ton to Glenn Griffin for finding this car. And most of all, thank you so much to Dawn Francis Thomas, which you'll see in the video, an incredibly elegant lady with an amazing place that was the caretaker of this car for 41 years. I'm gonna tell you a few things that we didn't know when we bought it. This is basically an early resto mod / was a race car at one point in time. 283 4-barrel wide ratio 4-speed with 410 gears. This thing is a blast to drive. I'm not gonna tell you anymore, you gotta watch the video. It's filmed backwards, so check it out. And we're back at Love Field again. It's Wednesday, about 9 in the morning. We're heading to BWI, which is Baltimore, Maryland. And from there, we're gonna drive to Westminster, Maryland. We're rescuing a 1955 Corvette, which is a very significant Corvette in that it's the first V8 built and one of 700 built. The family's had it for 55 years. And another really neat thing they have is they commissioned a pedal car to be built to match it. However, I'm not sure that it was commissioned to be built as a 55. It might be a 53 in the picture, but that's really cool. This is gonna be a 2-part coffee walk. We've got a lot to do. Once we're done with that, we're gonna immediately the same day drive to Falls Creek, Pennsylvania, and rescue what I believe is the holy grail GMC Jimmy and a bunch of other GMC trucks. Then we've got to drive to Pittsburgh Airport, be there by 10 p.m. so we can get the rental car turned in, and we've got to get on a red eye the next morning because Zach has got to be back for a wedding shower. So I told Dom this morning that Zach had to be back early for a wedding shower. He goes, this is an awfully early flight for you. You don't like early flights. I said, no, I don't really like flying at 5 in the morning, but has anybody actually ever heard of a wedding shower? I thought that's when you had a baby. Well, anyway, grab your cup of joe and let's go. So you know what, Zach? You can't do no deals with dirty heels. So you gotta take care of your equipment. It's kind of like taking care of the truck and the trailers. You gotta take care of your hoops, which are the tires on your truck, shoes on your feet. And you can't close no deals with dirty heels. I learned that from a very wise man, so thank you for that quote. And we're at BWI. And after 3 or 4 weeks of reasonably priced rental cars, we got hammered again. Yes, laid smooth out. $479 for a 24-hour period for a red Jeep Wrangler. But if there's any car in the world worth that, it's a Jeep Wrangler. So let's go to Westminster. James beat us here. He said we'd both be here around 4 to 4:30. It's 4:25 for us. And not sure what time he got here. At the Best Western, looks like, I don't know what it looks like. It's kind of weird looking. Full day of travel for us. Planes and Jeeps to get here, and James has been on the road for 2 solid days. So I'm pretty confident we're gonna buy at least one of these 2 vehicles. All right, we're with John Griffin in Westminster, and we're going to Rock Salt, which is the restaurant he suggested, best place in town. We're doing this backwards. We haven't seen the car yet, we haven't bought the car yet, but we've been working together on it for 6 months, so I'm confident we're gonna buy it, so we're gonna go eat first.
Well, if you come to Maryland, you gotta get a crab cake.
That's why we're here, Maryland crab cakes, let's go. Okay, so John and I have not only talked extensively about this 55 Corvette over the last 6 months.
Not today, maybe another day.
We talked extensively about food starting yesterday
How are you today?
because I knew we weren't gonna have enough time to do what we normally do. So I'm gonna let him order. Pressure's on him.
No problem. Yeah, rock salt, broiled oysters, and a crab dip to start with. And then
French fries with that, or would you care for something else?
fries are fine, and then we'll do the broiled 2 crab cake platter.
Okay, that comes with your choice of 2 sides.
Which are?
Mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, French fries, loaded potato salad, island rice, mac and cheese, bacon mac and cheese.
Bacon mac and cheese and coleslaw. I'm supremely impressed seafood.
6 billion degrees? Okay, thank you. So he said, sorry for the wait, but it was actually really quick.
That was pretty good.
I don't know what it is, but get after it, James.
Get on it.
You be the guinea pig. You drove the furthest.
I like it. Let's see what it is.
This is Maryland crab dip.
Maryland crab dip?
Yep.
All right, John, what do we have here?
These are big Parmesan oysters.
Big Parmesan oysters. I'm going to take the biggest one. Is that okay?
Baked Parmesan oysters.
Baked Parmesan oysters. I'm going to take the biggest one. Mine's good.
We're going to do a little smorgasbord.
Is that a sandwich?
That is the seafood club that I told you about.
Way to go, James.
Everything going in the middle?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Just find
Island rice and mashed potatoes.
a hole. Spot. The sides will kind of fill in.
Okay.
Okay. Somebody make a plan.
That looks like bacon mac and cheese.
That's right here.
That's regular.
That's the regular mac and cheese.
There you go. Now you get it.
If anybody has a question that what they see on film is not real, I'll be the first one to say yes it is.
That was some of the best food we've had in a long time, especially for seafood.
Absolutely. You got
Crab cakes? We're in Maryland, right?
You gotta have a crab cake.
See you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
Early in the morning.
Good morning, James.
Good morning, sir.
Was that not an outstanding dinner last night?
It was outstanding.
You actually said outstanding because James's word is amazing. What I like best about James, he's always happy and always positive. So you're going to need to be super positive today because what we're about to pull off today, logistically, I looked at it this morning, difficult,
Okay.
but we're going to do it.
We are going to do it.
First off, we're going to go rescue the 1955 Corvette, the matching pedal car. We got the deal done last night with John. He's the one brokering the car, so we know we're going to get the car. All we got to do is go pay for it, learn the history of it, and see this amazing place it's been in for 55 years.
Wow. Can't wait to see that.
And then after that, it's game on. So I'm going to get my coffee, get your cup of joe, and let's go.
Hello there.
Good morning, all.
Pleasure to finally meet you.
How are y'all?
We are fine. It's nice to see you. Let me get my coat on,
Okay.
you guys, because I am hot. Then you can get the
Dan,
best
how are you,
picture.
sir?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
Wow, small world, isn't it?
It is actually. When I was talking to
Look at you
John
guys
this
in
morning, I thought I got a
matching
sneak
black.
proof.
What
You're
is
in the
this?
neighborhood. So
I guess it's kind of our theme.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I mean,
Hey,
Pleasure to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you. And it's how ironic, because my husband's name is Dennis, too.
That's awesome.
And so we got two Dennises here.
My favorite aunt's middle name was Francis,
Is that right?
and
All
you're
right.
Don Francis Thomas.
Exactly.
Beautiful
exactly.
name.
Oh, thank you. And I was born at night. Can you believe that?
There you go. Well, thanks for having us.
Oh, I'm just thrilled that it's going to you because we love that car. We probably had that car, I think I figured out 43 years.
Wow.
Got it first time, because we bought and sold it, got it the first time in 77 out of Delaware, and I have all that literature to give you.
Okay.
And had it 2 years, and then we decided to buy an additional house in another, county where we were working, and he sold it, and we both kind of cried for 2 years. And then one day he was sitting beside the swimming pool reading the Washington Post, and he said, went and got the phone, came back. I said, what's going on? Well, I told you I wanted to try to find another 55, and gosh, there's one in the paper. So he calls. Ironically, this guy
It was y'all's car.
was, no. It was our car. He had sold it to a high school colleague in 2 years after we'd had it. 2 years after we didn't have it, when he wanted it, he called that number, and it was the same guy. He had the same car.
Well, it's probably pretty likely that it would have been your car because there's only 700 of them.
It's rare.
And so as far as guys that put a collection together for Corvettes, is very common for guys to put 53 to 67. They all want one of each year.
Yeah,
Well, they only made 755s.
I know. That's why.
So they rarely come up for sale.
And
When one just comes out of thin air, which is basically what's going to happen with this car,
Right.
because the Corvette guys are going to be like, we've never heard of that car, because y'all have had it for 43 years.
Yep.
They're always a little skeptical, is it a 54 that somebody turned into a 55? And then, like you said, the one guy raced it. That's another reason why there's not very many 55s is most of them, or a lot of them, were raced
Yeah.
because it was the first V8.
Yeah.
So a lot of them got wrecked.
Well, when my husband passed, of course, I had to have an assessment for purposes of settling the trust, and I saved that paperwork, and you're
Okay.
welcome to it, because he was a Corvette specialist, and he went through and itemized everything in terms of original, reproduction, whatever. I know you're an expert at it, but I thought that might be interesting
No,
to
absolutely.
see what he said, and I've just held on to that, and really wasn't in any hurry to sell it. My husband passed, and I thought, no, I'm just going to leave it here. I love that car. We had so many memories. The irony is, I have never been able to drive it.
I'll tell you what, my favorite part of your story so far is the number one vehicle in the world when they sell it, that they regret and buy another one, is a Jeep CJ.
Oh, is that right? This one?
Number one. Number two is a Shelby Mustang. Number three is a Corvette.
Oh, be darned.
So people historically, when they sell one, they regret it,
Right.
and they chase and chase and chase till they find another one, they buy it, and then they keep it. So it makes it very difficult to buy the CJs,
Yeah.
the Shelbys, and the Corvettes. So I'm glad that you're willing to turn it loose, because we're going to get it back out in the public.
That's what I'm counting on. I really do hope you can make it more alive, and somebody else can enjoy it.
Well,
because
I've bought Corvettes since I've been in high school, and my first one I bought from my drafting teacher. I've just been obsessed with Corvettes, and this is only the third 55 that I've owned in my whole life, and I've chased them my entire life. So I don't own it yet because I haven't paid you. But
You're as excited as David
I'm
brought it
really,
home.
really excited. I have not had a 55 in probably at least 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
And I do watch for them every single day.
Well, you're supposed to pass things along as a gift to people, so that's going to be my gift to you.
Well, thank
to be
you.
able to enjoy this car and bring it into really good condition. It doesn't look like it's not in good condition when you see it,
I am not worried about that.
but it's all the stuff underneath the skin that you really have to deal with.
I have 29 guys in my shop, and we can make it look just like brand new. I'm dying to see it. Can we go see it?
I am ready to take
All
you
right,
in here. Let's
go.
walk.
All right. Look at this place. Wow. Look at the trees. Oh,
Aren't they beautiful?
Oh
You got-
my
you
gosh,
came in-
absolutely
You've
amazing.
been here 2 weeks ago.
Is that
It was
cherry blossom?
Dogwood.
Dogwood, okay.
Dogwood blossom.
I am not
Okay,
very
we're gonna open these.
good at trees, but that is beautiful. Yeah. Wow. Well, it's definitely been in an incredible environment.
Well,
It's
this
amazing.
is.
How in the world do you keep this clean?
Well, I use it for entertainment. No animals are allowed in here. When we were building this, we had the Amish built it for us.
Okay.
And there had not been a barn raising in a long time in the area. So I had all these farmers coming in. They said, "What do you do? Hey, Mr. What are you going to do? What are you going to put in it?" And I said, "Fake horses." He said, "What?" And I said, no, I'm going to have cows out in the field, and they're all artificial out there.
I saw that.
And fake horses upstairs. They just laughed at me. So I'm sure they went back and said, can you imagine what that woman was going to use that barn for? Almost there. The trunk is not locked, and I'll show you how. So don't push hard on it yet. You can have this if you want it, unless you've already got another cover. So there she is.
The picture doesn't. So in 1955, they made 6-cylinder Corvettes and V8 Corvettes.
Yes.
So what you want to see when you first walk up to one, if you know, because the 53 to 55s basically look the same, is what your hope is when you walk up to one. What gets my heart pounding is to see the gold V. So you know you're looking at a V8 car, which is really great.
And my understanding was that this would have been the first large V8 engine put into it?
This is the first V8 for Corvette. So this was a 265 cubic inch, 195 horsepower V8 with a 4-barrel. And then the second thing you want to see when you walk up to one is when you look at the serial number, and you really hope, because most of them are clones, if you will, is to look in here, and you want to see a V in the front of the serial number, which it has it, which is also V8, which is
good
great.
to know. Good to know.
Great.
Probably did with it.
The other thing I'm interested to see is windshield washer was an option on these cars. It's actually operated by a pedal pump to pump the washer. It does not appear to have the washer pump. Central radio, correct gauges. And here's an odd piece of history on these cars. So we've got the soft top in here. So, John, there is a hard top here, correct?
Yes, now the hard top is going to be all the way around behind the house in the garage, up in the attic part.
Okay.
Now has never been finished. It was custom made, but was never painted and finished to match this. But we went ahead and bought it anyway, and have never used it. Put it right up on top of the garage.
So here's the reason why it was custom made. In 53 and 54, you could have got a factory hardtop. 55, it was no longer available. No kidding. Not available.
Oh, okay.
So I was very curious when John said there's hardtop with it. I was like, well, that's neat, but Parrish Plastics made some stuff back in the day, but somebody would have had to make that top, or it would have been a 53 or 54 top.
Okay.
So that's really neat that
Well, you're welcome
somebody
to
had
it
one
if
made.
you like it. And if not, I won't be offended.
Oh, no. I'm definitely interested in it.
Okay.
We got the model here, which is really cool.
I have two more for you while we're here.
Very cool.
I think they live on this desk in his office forever.
I want to see what the chassis looks like in this car. Really, really solid. That's great.
Here are two more.
Awesome.
So, whenever, wherever, you are welcome to them.
Fantastic.
Could not find my books, which means that they must have gone out to the bookstore.
Very cool. All right, and for the next miracle, which I'm actually probably more excited than you would imagine to see, is the pedal car.
Okay.
Where's the pedal car?
All right, it's behind these walls, and I have not yet attempted to slide the door, so let's go see which pile it is. That is a framed picture you're welcome to have. I'm not sure it's exactly my car, but you are welcome to it. Would you just put that in the trunk?
Very cool.
And I thought you would enjoy meeting my husband and seeing it in action.
So this is your
This
Dennis.
is my Dennis and myself. We went to a car show, not to enter the car because we knew we wouldn't get any points, but just to go and join the group. It was obviously an auto group, an antique auto group.
So this is in 2007. So this car hasn't been sitting very long.
No, but we had it in 77.
But when was the last time y'all drove it? Was this it?
8 years ago.
8 years ago.
That's probably
Okay.
the last time. And this is my husband, because I wanted you to meet Dennis.
It's an honor to meet Dennis. It's an honor to be
he's
here.
up there saying, go now.
Okay.
All right, let's see if we can get these doors open
All right.
for you. Oh, we might get lucky. Hold on. I think this may be it.
There it is.
All right, I'm going to let you help me untangle this.
Okay.
And let's see. And there's a story to this one too. This was supposedly produced for the 50th anniversary of the 55 Corvette. And we were, doesn't matter where we were actually in Connecticut at the time, and we went by the dealership, and this was sitting in the window.
Wow.
And it was Christmas time, it was the day before Christmas. And we said, oh, you know what? That would be great to buy. And we have a granddaughter, and then of course she was quite little. She could grow into this, and so we should buy it for her. So that was the picture I think maybe John shared with you, where you had the big car and the little car.
There was one Polaroid that he sent me of this, which is an old picture that you had.
Right.
And so I believe, and we haven't unveiled it yet, what you're saying is correct. However, it was the 50th anniversary of the 53.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So-
53. That's
so-
right. I had my dates wrong.
Very, very, very rare because there were only 353s.
I know.
So General Motors in 2003 gave the rights to a company called Mayfield to make 300 of these. And
There you go.
then Ms. Thomas, if you look over here, see there's no V.
Right.
So this is actually a 53.
Okay.
Now, however, like I said earlier, the 53 and the 55 look the same except for the V on the side. So, wow, this is what I hoped it was. So the company was called Mayfield.
Oh, all right.
This is a really, really high-end pedal car, and then it's got a tubular chassis, pneumatic tires. It actually has real tires with air in them. And here's what's really neat. They serialize these like a Corvette.
Yes. And what's even neater is I have the booklet for you.
And this is car number 135, which is pretty amazing because this car is 134.
Aha.
Did you know that?
I knew that they matched because that was why Dennis wanted to go ahead and get it.
That
Whether
is-
or not my granddaughter could drive it.
My hair's standing up on my arms. I mean,
Oh, I know.
that's apps is amazing. That
And
is so cool that y'all were able to put these two
And it
together.
has its own booklet with all the information on it, which I've saved for you so that you can have
This is incredible to me. It really is. Both of them are, but to have these two together, which they need to stay together,
That's right.
is amazing.
Yeah. And I had to call my granddaughter, who is now almost 20, who said, I think I probably wouldn't fit in it anymore.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's okay to go ahead and sell it.
And this is what this is. This is one of the 300 Mayfields. That is
were right.
absolutely amazing. Wow.
Well, it's never been on the road except in the picture that you saw.
That is
And
amazing.
she rode it around a little bit in the house and in one room, and then we kept it over here. But she loved it.
Well, these are better than John described. So obviously we have a deal. So I'm going to pay just what we discussed on the phone.
Yes, indeed.
I'll go get the funds and we'll start loading.
All right.
Wow.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
What a beautiful day. Thank you for your
Sounds
time.
very
I mean, I'm really very excited to get these.
Well, I can tell you are. I am so excited to find somebody who really appreciates what we have here. And not just the uniqueness and the rarity of it, but the joy that it brought us. I mean, we went out on many a weekend driving all over the countryside, going places in this car. It was just so much fun.
I mean, to have y'all were incredible caretakers of that car. And that is,
Sure.
to me, that really is an important piece of history for General Motors. The first V8 Corvette is a big deal.
Well, I've seen a lot of and you have too, the shows on TV, there's antique guys where they go around and go digging this god-awful looking building, to rescue something.
Right.
And I thought to myself, Dennis is really going to be surprised when he sees this barn and how tidy it is, and the fact that it hasn't had cow stuff everywhere.
We pull cars out of barns all the time, and I'm going to have to say this is without a doubt the nicest barn I've ever been in. All right, I'm going to go get my paperwork, and if you'll round your
I've got
paperwork
some.
up,
Yeah,
we'll
let's
do
do
that.
that.
We'll do that part of the deal, okay?
Okay,
All right, very
absolutely.
good. Wow. So let's see what's in the trunk. So this will be the third 55 I've owned. I've never seen this factory dealer brochure pamphlet specification sheet. Wow, that's cool. The other thing you hope for is that the side curtains are in the trunk because they are crazy expensive. Here they are. Wow. And they're pretty tight. Amazing. This is something you don't want to have to source, a pair of side curtains for a 55 Corvette with the right date codes. Tonneau covers in here. Just gets better. Original owner's manual. The trunk mat looks like it's very good for original. Look at that. Amazing. Spare tire covers here, and the spare is in there. What a great car. How you like that, Zach? Instead of using a rental Jeep, we're going to use Dan's Scrambler. Nothing better than a Scrambler to pull out a 55 Corvette, right, guys?
Outstanding.
Good shape?
Perfect. I don't know how much better it could have been stored in there with a cover on it. That's really neat.
Well, you should have done that when you pulled on this property.
Fits right in the bed of a Scrambler. Perfect.
All right.
So the brakes were locked up and you can hear them pop, so it's a good thing we got the Jeep here. We wouldn't have been able to push that out, Dave.
Can I walk along with you guys? But I'm not much of pushing.
Stop there.
All right, perfect. A little dirty. We found the hardtop. Now, as I said earlier, there was not a factory hardtop for a 55, so if you wanted one, you had to get an aftermarket one, which is what that is. So I think the best way to transport that is on the car.
I think so too.
Okay, you concur?
I concur, sir.
Okay, that's twice we've concurred today.
Yeah, no problem.
Good to see you, sir.
And
Yeah.
again, I appreciate you
Thank
getting
you, ma'am.
Oh,
It's awesome.
This was
What a great
joy.
day.
What a great day.
Really great day. Thank you so much.
Keep me posted on how much fun you're having with it. That
Yes,
was
ma'am,
so
I will.
great.
We'll have an update on that in the next couple of months.
Good. Okay.
We'll pull it in, and go through all the mechanicals and get it back running and driving, detailed and cleaned, and see whatever it needs, we'll do it.
Good. Sounds good. Thank
All
you
right.
so much. Have safe travels.
Thank you, ma'am. We're off. Pleasure to
Delighted
meet you.
I'll,
Great day.
I'll look at you on YouTube.
Okay, very good. Well, that was an exceptional, outstanding, amazing find. They took incredible care of that Corvette. To get a 55 V8 Corvette, like I said earlier, my hairs were standing up. Seal number 134, pedal car seal number 135. Wow, thanks for watching. Please like, tag, share, and follow. Most of all, subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our TikTok. See you next week.